What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is BC, Saturday, September 30th, 2023. And I wanted to come on and do a weekend episode. I'll probably do another one tomorrow. We're streaming now on Twitch as well, YouTube, Facebook. Currently, we're live. This will be broadcasted as a podcast as well. And I'm thinking of going on Locals and Rumble and all that stuff as well. So stay tuned for that. I named this particular episode "How to Live a Life of Excellence." Right? I continuously am hit with messages and pinged by people and asked all kinds of things. And I think this topic is general enough for me to touch on a lot of things that I think will help people, because a lot of times when people are dealing with particular issues, like in their business or at a more specific level, a micro level, if we're able to effectively pull them out of that moment or that thing and go back 2, 3, 4 layers and 4 steps, and we address something there, addressing that at its root will therefore many times hit the dominoes and knock them over and automatically fix that moment or thing that they think is the issue, right? So we're talking about addressing things that are universally applicable and at a deeper level to therefore automatically handle things that are more on the surface. Okay? So let's begin. How to live a life of excellence. Okay, there's a lot of points. I don't want to make this one too long today, but we're gonna get right into it. All right. Number one is this: if you want to live a life of excellence, your life and the actions that dictate your life and the scope of your life and the direction of your life have to be overwhelmingly in your control if you want to live a life of excellence. And let me give you an example of that. Case in point, right? When it comes to somebody's diet and lifestyle, their business, their relationships, their social life, their finances, right? All this stuff, all these areas, these people have clear purpose and direction behind everything. Why do I follow this diet and lifestyle? Why have I chosen this career, right? What are the goals and aspirations in this career, in my lifestyle, in my relationships? Where do I want to go? Am I clear on that purpose? And more importantly, am I connected to it? Does it mean something to me, right? Because a man or a human being on that, right, is not easily distracted, is oftentimes more fulfilled, is working at it every day, right, and is moving towards what they have classified as their purpose. It's their life. They have that control. And we seem to be in an era now where it's the overwhelming opposite. When I ask people questions about their lives and what they want the character to be like and how they see themselves in a year or two or their business or this and that, it's almost like, well, this person said do this and this person said do that. Very little is coming from them through their own investigations and studying and research and coaching and help, right? Because you do these things, because that's point 2 added onto this is we need to be scholars if you want to live a life of excellence. You need to be studying, getting coached and mentored and all that stuff 24/7, 365 in all these areas, especially the ones that are most important to you now, like your business, your finances, right? It might be your diet and your lifestyle that you really want to double down on right now, but you go all in. That way, again, your decisions, your values, your beliefs, and your identity are based on your own investigations and what you've learned, life experience and learning, teaching, and all that stuff combined into one. Not just, oh, I saw this video or I follow this one person and he or she said do this. We need to be scholars. And I think that's been lost in translation, right? If you were to study 30 minutes, 3 30-minute increments a day, like 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes during lunch, and then 30 minutes before you go to sleep, that would already put you in like the top 1% or 2%, I guarantee, of people on this planet. Especially if like you read and you do something like that, right? Or you're a part of a coaching program, you watch the lectures. If you did that 5, 6, 7 days a week, you're already near the top. And a lot of people refuse to do that. It's very easy to just be distracted because you're an accumulation of all the things that you do. So your reality, if you scroll all day on social media and just bullshit on YouTube, that's your reality. That's what's controlling you. Your existence is, I'm a slave to the algorithm. You're not living a life of excellence. You're not being a scholar. And you should take a tremendous amount of personal pride in that you're learning, that you're growing, you're exercising your brain, you're expanding your mind, you're expanding your knowledge and your wisdom. That makes you much more adept in conversations, dealing with other human beings, and just overall your personal development. I mean, it's huge. So that scholarliness, right? The other one is the physique, especially if you're a man. Now, you don't have to look like a Greek god chiseled out of a statue, but you should take a tremendous amount of pride and ownership of your vessel. I'm ripped year round, and I'm pushing 40 soon. But I understand that this is a representation of my mindset and my state of mind. And if my physique is good 24/7, 365, it's an indicator that I'm doing very good up here, because that spills over into other areas as well. It's not that my physique is incredible and then my life is in shambles. No, but I hold that to a high standard. I work my body in many different ways, and I studied, kinesiology and all that other stuff, right? I do all these weird little exercises, and I'm into calisthenics, but I want my vessel to be strong and adept and flexible and limber and athletic. That's important. That's very important, because that also feeds into having a stronger mind. But your physical vessel has to be strong. And we have to work this thing and understand that this physical prowess is a necessity if we want to live a life of excellence. You don't want to be limited by your movement or your body, right? A lot of people try to belittle the body. Well, we're much more than that. We're higher intelligence. We have minds. I understand that. But you can be limited by your vessel. If you're sick or you can't walk or you're limited physically, it's going to suck. Or your existence will be much more limited than if it wasn't. I can do the splits. I'm super flexible. I'm super strong. And I work at it on a daily basis. And if you want to live a life of excellence, that has to be a resounding point and of utmost importance to you as well. Again, regardless if you're a man or a woman. Okay. Continuing on. I think this will be number 5. Number 4 or number 5. I already lost count, right? Is you need to seek and do your best to, in most or all areas of your life, live by the truth regardless of how it makes you feel. Right? I look at the code of success and what it takes to be successful in like business and entrepreneurship. Very few people are willing to accept the truth when it comes to that. Very few people. They don't want to work. They want to find the shortcuts, right? But if you live a life of excellence, you would uphold the truth above all else, above your own feelings and other people's feelings, and you would live by that code. And you would do the hard work and whatever it takes for you to be successful in whatever field. I just gave you business and entrepreneurship as one example. And the truth is a truth. It's in black and white. It's that simple. We may not like it. We may resist it. We might fight against it. But look what's happening to the world. We see the world crumbling around us because truth is becoming secondary now to reality. Or falsehood, right? It's becoming secondary to falsehood. Delusions. People's feelings, etc., etc. And look what's happening. It's not good. But more importantly for you and what you're doing, for you to live with peace of mind and tranquility, be able to work efficiently, be disciplined, have energy, feel good about yourself, be confident, own yourself. When you live by truth, that's automatic, all those things. You don't have to fight and claw to be able to do them. Suddenly they become a lot easier and automatic for you to do. Well, it's because you're living by the truth. You're living by the truth. Okay? Next one is in one's representation out to the world, whether through social media or your gait, how you walk in person, having a sense of pride and representation and making sure that who you are is always on display. This is why I tell people to dress better, put themselves together, take care of themselves 24/7, 365, not just that one party or the wedding or this and that. You uphold pride in your image and your representation of yourself to the world if you want to live a life of excellence. You take pride in smelling good and looking good and all those things. They become important to you. Right? I think that's slept on by most people. By most people, right? Another one is to be of service. To be of service to others. Now, if I'm by virtue making myself better all the time, I can be of service to others because I'm making more money, I'm getting more intelligent, I'm getting better at my craft, and I have a lot to give the world. If you have nothing to give, how are you going to be helpful? I mean, I've been giving people free game on social media now, Facebook, Instagram, podcasts, YouTube for fucking 10 years now and going. Very few people can touch me with the amount of stuff that I put out for free. I give a tremendous amount to my students, my paid students, my team, my real estate agents, people who only watch me for free from time to time or watch me religiously. I give value constantly. I just did a free 5-hour summit yesterday for realtors where I had like 6 or 7 top dogs come and be guest speakers, and it was a 5-hour event. And we had like over 50 people live the whole time. I didn't have to do that. It cost me money to put that together to give to people for free. So I put myself in debt to give things to people for free. So what someone else gets for free, I had to pay for, or someone else had to pay for. A lot of people forget to put that into the equation. But are you of value to other people? I mean, I look at my customers throughout the years in real estate. I was of tremendous value to them, and I took pride in that. And that was at the forefront of my mind. Be of value to others. Be of tremendous value to others. I want to be an expert at what I do so the customer has that much better of an experience, so they can feel confident in me and in trusting me to sell their home or help them buy a home and navigate them through this process. I do a better job. I feel better about it. They feel better about it. Everybody wins. It's that simple. So you have to be of value to others. 100%. 100%. Another one is always, this is a big one, see the good in others. Do you see the good in others? I think generally speaking, people are good. I don't think people are evil. Are there people who commit evil acts and probably some evil people? Sure, absolutely. But do I think generally speaking that people are evil? No. I tend to see the good in others, even in their moments of anger and despair, hatred. I still see a good person behind that. They're just having a moment. This is why when people cuss at me or get mad at me or say hateful things, I don't take it personally because I know they're just a human being. Now, I still believe, and this is going to be the next point, that we should be held responsible and deal with the consequences of our actions, right? Which I'll get to that in a second, but we need to see the good in others. When you begin to see the good in others and yourself, your worldview starts to shift in a way that's conducive to you growing, communicating more, being more of service, and putting your best foot forward, which as a whole, humanity, it improves. Now, here's the other one. You have to deal with the consequences and own up to the responsibility that you have to take for you in your life, especially if you're listening to this and you're 18 and over. Congratulations. You're an adult. You deal with the consequences of your choices. If you broke the law, you go to jail. You have to accept it. You hurt people and then you get hurt. Karma's a bitch. You try to cut corners. Your business fails. Deal with it. Deal with it. We have to own up and take responsibility for our actions and for our lives and for our circumstances. 100%. And we have to deal with the consequences of those actions and thoughts and beliefs and things that we said and things that we did. When you take 100% responsibility, not 80, not 50, not 70, 100. Again, life begins to change. You start to have less of these emotional fluctuations and roller coasters. Suddenly, people respond to you differently. Suddenly, you wake up with more energy. You sleep better. You perform better. You have less self-constraint when it comes to living your life and fulfilling your purpose. You get in your own way less. Opportunities seem to fall into your lap. I mean, I can go on. And these are just some of the things that we must do if you want to live a life of excellence. And it's a daily thing. And none of us are perfect, right? And the last one I'll give you on this episode, and maybe we'll make this a series, is this. Be okay not knowing the answer to some things. You see, it drives me crazy when people literally put themselves and drive themselves to insanity because they're trying to answer questions that have no answers. This is why I don't get in arguments and back and forth with people about, a lot of things being shared online and this and that and all the political and religious stuff. It's a waste of your time and energy. You want to believe something? Cool. Believe it and stand by it. But don't argue with people. And if you really don't know the answer to something esoteric or something, it's okay. Something weird happened in your life, an accident, a circumstance that you're like, where did that come from? It's fine. Let it go. Stop trying to wrap your head around something that has no answer. You will drive yourself insane. Maybe you had a breakup and you still didn't have, closure because you couldn't communicate. That's fine. Let it go. You'll never know. You'll drive yourself insane trying to figure out why if you weren't really sure. Not worth it. It's not worth your sanity and your humanity. Forget it. Forget it. And when you're on purpose, you won't have time to sit idly and do these things, because that's the worst thing somebody can do, is sit idly doing nothing when you're not on purpose, when you're not focused on the task, when you're not operating at your best. Then you sit idly, the mind goes negative because it's literally there just to help you survive, and it's looking for issues and things that can go wrong. And there we go, the hamster wheel that most people are on. So in closing, living a life of excellence is simple, but it's not easy. Living a life of excellence is not for everybody. Living a life of excellence requires you to give more of yourself to you and to the world. And you have to demand more of yourself. You have to hold yourself to a higher standard. Because if you want to live a life of excellence, you will achieve things that other people cannot achieve. And you will, in other people's estimation, be held to a higher standard as well and viewed as such. Therefore, you have to carry and conduct yourself as such. Okay? That's it for this one, guys. We're signing off on Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow.